All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the weekly War Thunder podcast. I am your host, Full Blood MX, and today with me I have is Martian
Hello.
and the Average Bread.
Hello.
Okay, so the obvious news is that Gaijin is getting rid of the mouse, the Panther 2, the Coelian, and that's it, right?
The 10.5. 10.5 as well.
The what else?
The 10.5. Tiger 2.
Oh yeah, and the 10.5 Tiger. I don't like it because go ahead, say what you wanted to.
Okay. So I think almost everyone is kind of in agreement here that this was not like the best change that they could have done.
No.
Yeah, I think it's pretty thinly veiled what they're doing. I mean, actually, no, it's not even thinly veiled. They literally, what was it with removing the mouse? Didn't they say that it was literally too hard to balance?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the stupid thing, is because here's the problem with War Thunder, is that for some ungodknown reason, they have a weird like rating system or balancing system where it goes 0.3, 0.3, 0.7, and then the first whole number. Why? Why is it like that?
Yeah, there's so many ways you could possibly like get around this. Like even if you really wanted to, you could just like have each vehicle have a list of things that it's able to face. Like, but decompressing first off would be the biggest change that they could do. I mean, honestly, I would totally be up for just having BRs be a whole number and then 0.5, and then just have everything assigned in its steps there. So like say something like 2.0 would go to, it would
like 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4.
So like 1.3 would be assigned to 1.5 and 1.7 would be 2.0. So each step up would go to each half number.
I would be okay with
so that'd be yeah. I mean the alternative to that is just making it so that you can only face things 0.7 away. Which, I mean, yeah, you can do that, but it's just 0.7 is just kind of a weird number.
And I feel like they have to lower the amount that you can be down tiered or up tiered. Like, you should not be allowed to be up tiered a full tier, because at that point your tank just becomes completely irrelevant and power crept into infinity. So I feel like what they should do is just change it to half a BR, up tier or down tier.
Yeah.
And did you see the new vehicles that they're going to introduce in replacement of the mouse, Tiger?
There was a copy paste of some American vehicle, I know that, and then
what was it, Martian?
It was the M48 A2C, I believe.
Okay. And I want to say they're adding another one. I think they're adding two.
There's the Ostwind 2. That's what it was.
Yeah. So here's my thing about the Ostwind 2. All right, so Gaijin is removing the Coelian, the 105, and the Panther 2 because they were just blueprint tanks. They never existed.
Except the mouse. The mouse actually existed.
Yeah, they built two of the mouse. But they're removing them because they're blueprint tanks. They were never built. There was a prototype for the Coelian, but it never really went anywhere. But they're going to add the Ostwind 2, and I did a little bit of research, and I couldn't find any evidence of there being such a thing as an Ostwind 2. Like, an Ostwind with 237 millimeters never came up in my search.
Well, I also remember that I forget what YouTube video it was.
So, and the Coelian and the Coelian, or the Ostwind and the Coelian, are pretty much the same thing. The only difference, or the Ostwind 2, the only difference between the two is the chassis. That's it.
Really?
Like, they both get 237 millimeters. The Coelian is on a Panther chassis. The Ostwind 2 is on a Panzer IV chassis. So, in reality, it's the same thing, just with less armor. Granted, armor doesn't really save you at 6.7. But then, what are they going to do with the Ostwind 2? What BR is it going to be? Is it going to be 5.3, 5.0? Is it going to be 6.7? Just like the Coelian is now? Because it's essentially just the Ostwind with an extra gun. It doesn't get better penetration. It doesn't get better reload, doesn't get better turret turn, doesn't get a better mantlet, doesn't get better nothing. It's just a copy paste to Ostwind with an extra gun.
I can see it being like a 5.0, maybe 5.3 SPAA, but it screws over. It screws over anything in between 3.7 to 5.3 because you're not going to have any SPAA.
And what's the point? Because the Ostwind is 4.7. So if you have an Ostwind 2 at 5.0, what's the point in having the Ostwind? The Ostwind 1 is just as perfectly capable of taking out aircraft just as the Ostwind 2 would be, and just as the Coelian would be, just as the Whirlwind, just as the Sunderkraftfahrzeug 6-2.
Right.
Just as the Flak Panzer 38, just as the Flak Panzer 1, just as the Roland.
Yeah.
Kugel, Gepard, like they're all the same. The only difference is the armament, the reload time, the chassis, and the maneuverability. But in essence, they all do the same job.
Shoot down planes.
Shoot down planes. That's all that they're made to do. Why does one vehicle have to get removed? Because it never existed. The Ostwind 2 is going to shoot down planes just like the Coelian.
So what... You said that the Ostwind 2 has a different chassis. What chassis is it built on? Is it on the Panther?
On the Panzer 4.
The Panzer 4.
Okay, look at the Ostwind.
All right.
Take that gun and so put the Whirlwind turret on the Ostwind and then replace the 420s with 230s, with 237s.
There's a picture of it somewhere online. I know that.
Yeah, there's a picture of it. Yeah.
I think Gaijin themselves posted the image of the Ostwind 2. I think they actually posted the picture of all the new vehicles that they're going to be replacing it. So essentially, they pretty much killed Germany 6.7.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, yeah. I mean, not that it was alive to begin with because of the BR compression issue, but yeah, there's certainly a lot of issues that they are ignoring. I mean, there's been bugs in the game since the very beginning that they still haven't fixed.
Right.
And, you know, the only way that things actually get fixed is if just literally the whole community complains about it for months and months and months. And then all they'll do is end up changing a repair cost on a vehicle or making it a slightly higher or lower BR.
This might be an unpopular opinion, but I honestly think that the mouse could be down tiered to 6.7. Now,
I think the mouse should be 7.0. And I say 7.0 because until they fix the BR compression, I think it should be 7.0 because then it only gets up tiered to 8.0, and there's only a few 8.0 tanks in the game. At 7.7, it's still gonna fight Cheat FS and whatnot. At 7.0, it's still gonna fight Cheat FS. It's the down tiers that are an issue that Gaijin is kind of worried about because
what down tier?
They don't hardly ever happen, but they only think about it that way. So if the vehicle gets down tiered to 6.7, it will seal club because nothing at 6.7 can really pin it. I mean, granted, the mouse doesn't fit the meta. It's super easy to get around. It's super slow. It has a long reload. It has a slow turret turn. I mean, with a maxed out turret, it turns at 6.7 degrees per second.
But the same argument could be implemented for the T29. That thing doesn't fit the meta, and it's, what, 7.0? 7.7? Same BR as the mouse?
6.7. The T29?
Yeah,
It's 6.7.
No, it's 7.0.
The T30?
No, T95.
Oh, T95. You said T29.
No, I didn't. I said T95.
I heard T29.
Brad?
Oh, I wasn't listening. Sorry.
God damn it, Brad.
Well, okay, but point is, the T95, Gaijin doesn't care about the T90. It's not a lot of people play the T95.
Wasn't the T34 a prototype tank?
Yes.
A heavy tank.
The T29, the T30, the T34, and even the T28 were all prototypes. So it's just a hypocrisy that Gaijin is implementing into... For some reason, they just hate Germany, and they're just nerfing it into the ground by removing a ton of its vehicles. I mean, granted, yeah, you get to advance more further into the tech tree with less vehicles, but it's just the iconic vehicles that are, such as the mouse. The mouse has been a big staple since the beginning of War Thunder.
It's literally in the artwork for the game. When you start up the game, it's like there's that one picture where it's next to the M19, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
42, and the Focke-Wulf 200's flying.
And here's the thing that bothers me the most. Gaijin has blatantly said that they're going to be adding the mouse back as an event vehicle. So you're either going to have to pay money for it or just work your ass off for something that's been in the game since the beginning. I just don't like where they're going with this game. It just seems like every up tier, the game gets worse and worse. I mean, Martian and I have been playing for a very long time. I stopped playing multiple points. Like, the first time I stopped playing was when they removed sim battles as a regular game mode.
They did that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's an event now.
Yeah, it used to be a regular mode.
I forgot.
I've now not on this account that I use, but I've lost the old account. But I played the game since the very first day it was released. Like, I've been playing the game about as long, maybe if not longer, than a majority of the YouTubers have. Like, I've been playing longer than Fly Daily. I've been playing longer than Michael's Boom. I've been playing longer than Many Miles Away. I've been playing longer than Slickbee. I've been playing a lot longer than most of these people. And there's a lot of people in the same category as I am that have a lot of experience and a lot of time playing the game and enjoying the game back in the olden days. And I have noticed that ever since update 1.67, when they added the T29 IS6, things just really started going downhill from there. Every update, it was new vehicles added, nothing was getting fixed. I mean, it took them almost a year just to balance the IS6 somewhat properly.
I remember the shit show started going down at like,
yeah. I mean,
what was it like 1.3?
I even stated
ATGMs added.
ATGMs didn't even bring that much cancer to the game. Like, yeah, they brought a lot at topper tiers, but 1.67 ruined it for update 6.7.
Is that when they
1.67 was the update to kill 6.7?
Wasn't that when the Rise got added? Because I remember it was something.
I think the Rise got added with update 1.69 Aeronautica or something like that.
All right. Because I remember there was an update specifically titled like More ERA or More Era or something like that. I could be wrong. I might just be talking out of my ass.
It might have been. No, they added the M60 with update 1.71 with the MBT/KPZ70 and the T64A and all that. Like, that's when every country got their new top tier vehicle.
Okay.
I remember. Yeah. But I even stated in one of my previous videos, ever since update 1.67, the game has just gone into a great gulag depression. The Russian vehicles have been getting better and better and better, and the German vehicles have been getting worse and worse and worse.
Germany suffers.
Like, people say that each country gets its ass. I believe that, honestly, there's no real way to balance any vehicle completely properly, because there will always be that one person that knows how to play it better than everyone else.
Well, the
Gaijin pulls from that data from that one person, and it's like, okay, well, this guy who's really good, we're gonna take all the data from him, so that way all the people who barely know how to play this vehicle are really gonna suffer.
Well, here's the thing though. I kind of disagree with that, because I feel like there are ways to balance certain vehicles, especially top tier vehicles like the M1A1, the T80U.
Well, I mean, basing it off of players' stats, because that's how Gaijin balances things, is they base it off of win rate.
So then what if, and of course, I don't think that there's enough players at the current moment. If Gaijin somehow found a way to have more players play the game, what would you be then? Would you then be okay with like something like ranked match?
Like competitive mode? Like if they introduce a competitive...
Like where a matchmaker tries to people at your own skill level.
I mean,
like, of course, that would require.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it wouldn't work with a game like.
Well, it certainly wouldn't work now.
I mean, if they did it right, if they, honest to God, put some effort into a competitive mode, which I know, knowing, come on, let's be honest, all three of us know that they're not going to put any effort into this. It's just going to be a copy-paste of capture the modes. But if they... I feel like if they actually put some effort into the competitive mode, then yes, games could be balanced. I feel like Sim would be a good starting point, but there would have to be a ranking system. Like, you could go from light tank to MBT composite armor or something like that. which could be and obviously light tank being the lowest, MBT composite could be the highest ranking, and something in between. But Gaijin doesn't know how to balance. I don't know if it's because it might sound a little racy here, but it might be because they're Russian because they don't know how to. I don't know, something about the Russians. Whatever they touch, they have like the reverse Midas touch.
That is actually a point. Doesn't like Wargaming kind of have the same problem too?
And
they just kind of like, eh.
And it was because of the Russians. It was because of Armored Warfare failed. Armored Warfare could have been a great competitive game for World of Tanks and War Thunder, but for some reason, as soon as it was bought out by a Russian company, it tanked. And I just feel like it has to be bought out by an actual game company that knows what they're doing. Not EA. But another company.
Well, EA knows what they're doing.
Yeah, but it would become even more pay to win than it is now.
Yeah.
My like the really big issue that I have with Gaijin is why can't you just be honest with your player base? Why do you have to lie and just bullshit about literally everything? I mean, for God's sakes, instead of just fixing your BR compression, you're just gonna remove the vehicle that has the most issues because you're too fucking lazy to fix your BR compression.
For real.
I mean, like that's a new level of lazy. Like that's like me waking up in the morning, going to work, getting paid to just sit there and do nothing. And then when someone tells me to, hey, can you come do this thing real quick? No, I'm good.
Fucking delete it with a rocket launcher.
Like I'll just sit here and I'll create more problems than fix them.
What I want to know is, when Gaijin first created this game, is this what they wanted?
Oh,
is this
definitely not. They wanted a game that everyone enjoyed.
What was that, Brad?
I was saying that, like, is this what they truly wanted when they first made it? Because like you can see like old relics of the game in like the training or whatever like that. You know, all the like I don't know how to describe it, but it certainly feels old, at least in terms of like old War Thunder.
Right.
It's just, it feels like so much more passion was put into that. Like they actually put like they had a voice act. I think Sean actually voice acted for some of the training stuff.
Sounds about right.
I don't know why they have this shift of mindset.
Because they added one vehicle that made a lot of money and they realized, oh, can make a lot of money doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
And then it just slowly got worse and worse and worse. And now they're at a point where it's like doing crack. Like they just they're ready for their next fix.
They're just they've just gotten used to like cycle, if you will. Of just
this is the norm.
This
is their new norm. Let's add vehicles, a new premium vehicle that's gonna make us a lot of money, and then let's take like a few months to a year to fix it, and then that's it.
I mean, really,
we'll just add something broken next patch in the next few months.
What really sucks is they really have almost no incentive to fix anything. Why fix anything? What money does it generate for them?
No, because you're right, Brett. You're absolutely right. They have no incentive to do it because, honestly, War Thunder is the only unique kind of game out there. And in terms of, there's World of Tanks, but it's too arcadey. Whereas
there's not enough realistic competition.
No, and that's unless a direct competitor comes along and actually challenges Gaijin and starts stealing players from Gaijin and War Thunder, they're not gonna give a shit.
Yeah,
I like World of Tanks should create a more realistic mode, and I think that would pull a shit ton of players from War Thunder.
We just need something to light Gaijin's pants on fire.
Like honestly. If it wasn't for the health bars, I would definitely be playing World of Tanks over this game any day. But the health bars are the only thing that keep me from doing it because I don't like that. I don't like you can shoot someone in the track 20 times and kill them. It doesn't take any real skill.
Not just that, it's just some of the physics in that game is kind of wonky, and I
get it. It's kind of like the
War Thunder too. That
I mean,
there's planes screwed in the air and just kind of
look at it this way. So. Call of Duty and Battlefield.
Right.
Call of Duty has always been kind of arcadey, at least not from the very start, but up until Black Ops 2, it's been getting more arcadey. And now they're taking a step back and they're realizing, well, we're kind of losing a little bit of our players, like our old players who really enjoyed the game.
Mhm.
So let's go back to the Call of Duty World at War meta, where there's actual some sort of skill involved. There's some tacticalness to it. Like you need to have a strategy in order to win, kind of thing. Like more and more games are taking an approach to that, but not enough tank games are taking the approach. They're going for a more newer Call of Duty style instead of a older Call of Duty or Battlefield style. I used to play the heck out of Battlefield 3 because it was so realistic and it took time to get things and it took time to get places and it took time to kill people. Call of Duty is just a run and gun, shoot 'em up. That's what Thunder's turning into.
I agree, and it's not just like Call of Duty doing that. You can also see Fortnite doing it, because look at PUBG. PUBG was the first real game that established that kind of like battle royale. It's what got battle royale onto the map.
Yeah.
But then as soon as Fortnite got popular, everybody started copying what Fortnite was doing, because now everybody is doing like the pointing system, the events. It's just that since Fortnite has gotten popular, everybody's trying to copy what Fortnite is doing instead of doing their own thing.
No such thing as an original idea anymore.
No. It's just whatever becomes popular, copy it, but you have to put your own spin on it. And I feel like something like that has to be done with a new game that kind of copies War Thunder, but it has to put their own spin on it, or else we're not going to be able to go anywhere with this game.
It's like copy pasting a paragraph off of a wiki page or something and just changing a few words for school. I mean, it like Gaijin needs a real competitor. World of Tanks is not like, yeah, they compete with War Thunder a pretty decent amount. I mean, I know that a few people that used to play War Thunder now play World of Tanks. They don't touch War Thunder anymore.
Really?
Yeah. I know a few people. They just like, yeah, I swapped over because I couldn't deal with the amount of absurdity that game has. It's like you rather play with the health bars than
for some people they don't want to deal with the bullshit that this game has.
I mean, I don't want to deal with it either. I miss the old War Thunder. I miss just having.
It's just a matter of preference then.
Like,
there's not much more.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, a lot of people like to have fun with this.
Yep. Yeah.
Like I don't know how people can have fun when your shells disappear in midair, or when your bullets spark all the time, and when like it's gotten too much. Like War Thunder, the only reason I haven't stopped playing War Thunder is for those iconic vehicles and those good moments.
Yeah.
Like there's no real reason to play anymore. There's no. Like the grind is ridiculous now. I don't even play to grind anymore. Like I'm not trying to grind my Japanese. I'm not trying to grind my Italians. I'm not trying to grind my French because they're all unplayable for me. Like I don't have fun playing them, so I don't like to play them.
For me, I think it's just because I've sunk too much money into this game that out of spite, I'm not quitting because I want my money's worth that I put into this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. Like, if I win the lottery, I'm buying Gaijin.
Yeah. And I guess I should bring up that Gaijin yesterday announced that they started doing dev blogs for update 1.91, right?
Did they?
What's the next patch? Is it 1.91?
Yeah, 1.91.
Okay, yeah, they started dropping dev blogs for it, and they announced that the British helicopters are now coming into the game. But guess what they first announced? It's a premium helicopter, one that directly is on par with the AH-1Z.
Yeah, that's doesn't surprise me.
So I just feel like I understand War Thunder is a free-to-play game, free in quotes.
Yeah.
But
free to download, not free to play.
Exactly. That's a good point. That's a good slogan. It is fun. I am not gonna lie. I do have fun with this game. It just needs to be managed so much better if it wants to continue to grow and be the game that they originally aspired to have it be. It's just, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, honestly, we're just wasting breath.
We are.
Because Gaijin's Gaijin's not going to do anything to fix it. They haven't done anything to fix a lot of things in a while. I mean, the only way that things get fixed anymore is if someone like Fly Daily makes a video on a broken vehicle, and then that gets enough people to complain about it, and then Gaijin's like, all right, we'll think about it.
Right.
We'll consider what we need to do to fix this vehicle. Or they'll base it off of win rates. Like for the B29, their repair cost is insane. It is not that good. I mean, most of the time, you can't even get to the bases without, getting shot at or killed.
Yeah,
I played a game in the B29 after its repair cost. Before its repair cost changed, I shot down one plane, destroyed 2 bases. I got shot down. I made negative 1,000. I lost money. So the only way now that you can gain money with the B29 is if you shoot down 2 planes, destroy all 3 bases and the airfield.
That's actually a point, is repair costs. That's another stupid part about this game. Like I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Say you take the Tai 152 with that, I think fully upgraded repair cost is. Oh, did they lower it? Oh yeah, they finally brought it down, but it's still incredibly high. It's not 32,000, like it's 21,000 now. But that's still it's still bomber level. That's still way too much. But say you're playing that thing, and it's fully spaded. Say it's being fully spaded probably brings it up to like 30K anyways. So, and you're the last one on your team, and you don't have any kills or anything like that, and the enemy team is telling you to come down. Why should you come down? You have every incentive in the world to stay up there. You're a high altitude fighter, and you have a high repair cost. Why should you come down?
That's exactly the problem, is because Gaijin themselves created that problem. Because of the high repair cost, it just incentivizes players to climb and hide and just waste everybody's time being into space because they don't want to be shot down and have to pay the high repair cost. So I feel like that no vehicle in this game should have to exceed more than 15,000 as a repair cost.
Yeah. Easily. And again, I want to state that it's not, I never really see it as the player's fault, as the player being a dick, because again, they have no incentive to come down. In fact, they have incentives to stay up there. Like the game is literally punishing you for going down and fighting, because you're almost guaranteed to die unless it's just a straight 1v1.
Even then, the 1v1 is not a guarantee.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee.
So I just feel like they're gonna have to revamp bombers, like completely change how
the entire game, man. Like
make a War Thunder 2.0.
Legit. Like if they started work on something like just like revamping the entire game for a year, I would be totally up for that. I would wait an entire year for them to just fix everything.
I would be okay with that. If they just came out and said, all right, guys, next patch, or the next 5 patches even, I would be okay if they said that we're not going to be adding anything new to the game, except we're going to be fixing stuff. I'd be like, you know what, Gaijin? Take your time. I want you to fix this game.
Fix the stuff that's...
We know it would, we know it would never happen because they just...
Fix the stuff that's in the game. Don't worry, in reality, okay, so worrying about making money is making you lose more money than you think. In the long run, you're losing more money.
Yeah, it's very obvious. They're just constantly playing the short term.
That's all that they care about. Is let's get our money now, and whatever the community thinks, they can just go fuck themselves. And then next patch will add something that'll bring them back for a month or two until we, get enough complaints to actually do something about the vehicle. And then they're like, okay, well, I don't want to play it anymore because now it's not broken. Now it's not OP.
I feel like it's so telegraphed now, though. Like, you can just tell exactly. Like, I feel like this whole removing the mouse thing is really just to distract from the whole fix the game 1.91 thing.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, because that's all that it's got people.
Now the community is talking about the mouse, and that's it. And
that's what they want. They don't want us to call them out on their BS.
Like legit, they're now just starting to punish us for trying to get them to fix.
Yeah. Like, oh, you want us to fix the game? Okay, we're going to make the mouse the event vehicle only.
Yeah.
For real, it's just... Like you said, Martian, we're just wasting our breath trying to tell Gaijin something that they're going to take from us and just throw it directly into the trash.
Well, Gaijin isn't gonna see this video. Are you kidding me? Like they.
You're
I'd be
right.
surprised if they don't see any videos. I'd be surprised if they just like.
The only person's videos they watch is Fly Dailies, and even
Like they just straight up like I wouldn't be surprised if they just have like intranet over blocks any video that talks bad about War Thunder. Like
yeah, because every single time I don't really talk to him anymore. I don't even think he's active on YouTube anymore. But
Benji?
Machine Gun Benji. He hit the mark that he needed to start, to get sponsored by Gaijin. And he gets sponsored. And they told him, if you make any negative reviews about our game, we will stop sponsoring you. They cannot take criticism at all. They only want positive feedback. It's just they have unrealistic expectations for their game. They expect their game to succeed no matter what. But the reality is quite the opposite. Your game is not going to succeed if you don't take care of it. This game is your child. You have to nurture it. You have to make sure that it survives. Anyone says anything bad about your baby, so what? It's still living.
Exactly, and what I think it was the people behind Warframe. I don't know who the company is behind it, but all I know is that they said when players ask for something or they tell you to change something, you don't slap their hands and say, no, don't do that. You take their criticisms and their ideas and somehow implement it into your game to make it grow better and bigger than what it already is.
Yeah, you implement it. You make a game that people want to play. We're telling you what we want, and you're just gonna be like, no, we have our own ideas. We don't care what you think.
Exactly. It's
not a good way to run a business.
No. And once again, I think it comes down to having that like Russian culture. It's just how they do things over there. It's just how they just have their culture ingrown into them like that. It's where, no, we don't listen to anybody else. We're going to do it our way.
Yeah, our way or the highway.
Exactly. Well, I think this has been a good discussion on what we think of Gaijin, the mouse. So, I just want to thank everybody for listening, and we'll be back next week. Goodbye.